Hey everyone, it has been quite some time since I actually sat down and hit record. I have been on autopilot for about a month now, and it shows because I'm pretty sure the last time that I recorded anything was this time last month. Well, things haven't been so easy for me, and because I've been on autopilot, that was my way of coping with everything around me. I've had to reflect. I've had to kind of go inward and be a lot more introspective. But at the same time, because I was burning the candle at both ends, I'm spent. I'm burned out, and I've had to not only reflect for a little bit and kind of assess where I am on my creative writing journey and my content creation journey and building this channel from the ground up, but I've also had to give myself allowances and more grace to say, you know what? I'm so burned out to the point where I don't even want to think. I don't want to think about the next day. I don't want to think about the next week. I don't want to think about my content creation schedule or any deadlines that I have coming up. I just need to pause. And I think now more than ever, now that I've finally come up for air, I'm able to sit with myself and really feel that gratitude that I gave myself the grace to just take a break and walk away for a little bit and kind of turn off my brain and not be in that reflection state or that thinking and overthinking and analyzing and critical thinking. Just enough, stop. So when I told myself to just stop and kind of focus on being, which is such a cathartic feeling when you're not thinking about the next move, you're not thinking about anything even within the day, you're just kind of coasting and you're a wanderer. Your soul is just kind of going through the motions and kind of drifting. Sometimes I think there is the stigma that oh, you gotta keep going, you gotta hustle through it, you gotta grind through it, you've gotta just buckle down. And even though it feels like it's an uphill battle or whatever you're going through, it's tough, you just gotta tough it out. When is enough enough? Okay? I'm here to talk about what do you do in the moments when you've had enough and you are so burned out to the point where you don't have anything left to give. I'm not going to sit here and romanticize what that would look like if you were to give up entirely. No, but what would happen if you just took a break, a hiatus, for however many days, weeks, months, or even a year or two that you need? What would your life look like? What would you change? What would you do things? How would you do things differently? Now, this is not my usual scripted video. Everything is really off the cuff and just kind of off the top of my head what I've been going through. I want to let you guys know how things have been in the last month since where I last left things on the channel. And that's kind of been what I've been going through, without really getting into the minutia, the minute details of my life, my day job has it really did take a toll on me and kind of took me for a ride, for lack of a better word. Took me for a ride. And what I love to instill in those of you who find resonance in what I say is to never give up and to keep going even when the going gets tough, and to ride it out, because some of the times it can be psychological warfare. Sometimes it can be spiritual warfare. Sometimes it could just be, that inner battle between the different versions of you. And one that wants to procrastinate and be lazy, or has had enough of the hustle and the bustle and the grinding and the hard work and no payout, can also be at war with the other side of you that wants to persevere and wants to keep going. And no matter how much weight is on your shoulder, you want to rise above it, because you know that there is a beautiful sunrise over that, over that hump. There's a beautiful portrait landscape, brilliant image that is waiting for you. The fruits of your labor that's waiting for you around the corner. So those two are kind of at odds. I've felt that. Maybe some people can understand what I'm talking about, because maybe you've also gone through that, where you're at the end of the rope, just kind of at odds with the different sides of yourself. But there I go again, asking the question, what to do now? Because when I was talking to my friend / mentor, we've spoken about this numerous times. I would come to her with a problem. I'd say, I'm burned out. I'm in survival mode. I'm trying my best to create art and be that version of myself that I deserve, because that version of myself that I deserve to be every day, or most days of the week, she lives a different lifestyle than I do now. She's this, she's that, she's all that, she's Barbie, she can do it all. And if I quit, or if I stop and go, and I, quote unquote, waste time, I'm delaying that chance to meet up with that version of me, this ethereal Barbie that has it all together, has her ducks in a row. But it's like, I'm so tired. I tell my friend that I'm so tired. Like, this job of mine is really dragging me through the mud. It's taking me out for a spin, and I'm trying to hold on for dear life, but it is getting increasingly harder and harder as the weeks go by. And that's when my friend had to sit me down and tell me that is the test. Because the version of you've built her up to be so magnificent. And you, as you are today, are so magnificent. You are so great. If only you could see that. If it breaks her heart when she tells me stuff like this, because I have met some amazing people in my life, and when I am giving them unsolicited advice, should I say unsolicited? Well, whether they ask for it or not, it's all out of love. When I'm giving some of these people that are very near and dear to my heart advice and pep talks and words of wisdom and affirmations, I see them at their core, and I see their aura and their essence, and they just radiate this They radiate this beauty and brilliance. And sometimes you look at someone that you really love, you really care for, and you're like, if only I had an ounce, a fraction of your mind, of your intellect, of your talents, your creativity, your beauty, your whatever, fill in the blank. I would rock this world. Imagine knowing someone that you admire and you look up to in a very healthy way, and you're just in awe of them, in complete and utter awe of them, and they sell themselves short. Wouldn't that really have you punch in the air? Because it's like, if the roles were reversed and you had whatever it is that they got that you don't, and the universe just kind of flipped the script, and now you have what you've always admired about them, you would be running, like just straight sprinting with this air of confidence like no other, just strutting that stuff out in the streets. Be like, yeah, I got that singing voice. Didn't have it before, couldn't put two notes together, tone deaf and everything, but now I've got the voice of an angel. I'm Billie Eilish mixed in with Shakira and Beyonce and Whitney Houston and all these greats. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we don't see the worth in ourselves, and then we let the day-to-day bog us down, so that kind of just knocks us down a peg even more. But then luckily for some of us, we have people on the outside who can see our worth, our brilliance, our magnetic energy. And they can tell us through objective observation, you got the it factor. You got it like that. Do not sell yourself short, no matter what you're going through, because that is the test. The test is, despite the trauma you're going through, despite you being in survival mode, can you still rise to the occasion? Can you still live up to the moment? Because that version of you that you see yourself in, whether it's owning that big, beautiful house on a hill that you have dreamed about for years now, even though the housing market is crap and you don't even have $19.99 in your savings account, you got like a couple dollars in there, like despite all of that, when credit is whack, despite all of that, you still have a dream. I believe that dreams, visions, thoughts, they're not planted into our subconscious for no reason. They all have a reason. It's because if God or the universe or a higher power source did not want that for you, then that would have never been planted in your mind, put in your heart, for you to even daydream or literally dream about. Think about that. Whenever you just have a thought pop into your mind, like, oh, I want a red Mustang. It's like, why? Like, a lot of people have red Mustangs, but specifically now in the month of September in the year of 2025, all of a sudden now you want a red Mustang. We don't know why, we don't know how, we don't know when, we don't know who, but we just know that's what we want, and we've decided that's what we want to get. Doesn't matter why. It's like, oh, I just think it's really cool, or I think that it's a car that I need to drive right now in my life. Like, who knows? Maybe the message, the higher purpose is, hey, you've reached a turning point. You've reached a new chapter in your life. This is a new phase. And because of that, you're going to get a new car, but not just any car. It's going to be a red Mustang. Who knows? Just an example. But that's the point of it all, is that the difficulty, the beauty of your journey will always lie in these mini tests, these periods of intense pressure. Because how do we make diamonds? Through pressure. Okay? They don't just fall out of the sky and land right into your lap. You've got to compress and compress and compress until you squeeze out from a coal to a diamond. All right? So because I was going through my metamorphosis? Because I was going through my transformation period, it was really intense and it was really hard, but it was for about a good month. What a stint. Longest month of my life. Last one was July. August, I was honestly just a zombie walking through life. I was like, don't nobody talk to me. Don't look at me. I'm not here. I'm here, but I'm not here. Okay? But even then, I still kept going. I still put one foot in front of the other. I participated in the Great Lock-In, which was, I think, around the end of August. A lot of people on social media were talking about the Great Lock-In. I think it had to do something with the planets in alignment or retrograding or something like that. And everybody was like, hey, from now until December, you need to lock in and really open up so you can transform and be a completely, like, skip timelines, jump through different timelines so you can be that version of you that you have been envisioning for quite some time now. But that's only going to happen if you change your habits, if you start doing things that are out of the ordinary, things that are not like you, things that other people who have been in your life day in and day out would say, so-and-so is acting out of character. This isn't like him. This isn't like her. They're not really acting like the person that I know. And I think that's what it takes to be a completely different person. I mean, yeah, you can do the small things like dye your hair a different color or thread your eyebrows or get a new piercing or a new tattoo, but maybe we have to start thinking like in the film Everything Everywhere All at Once, where the main character's doing these completely outrageous and ridiculous things that help her jump through different timelines. And maybe what that looks like is changing cities or picking up a martial arts or joining a club that you would never really necessarily join. It could be a running club, it could be bird watching club, it could be Toastmasters. You know, maybe you want to be an expert public speaker. I want us to get used to the idea of kind of not only a shift in your paradigm, which is like you're kind of like refocusing your perception of things, but start thinking bigger in terms of, well, how can I change? How can I form new habits? If something's going to take me about 20 to 30 days to form a new habit, what can I do within a month or two to be a completely different person than I was 60 days ago, 30 to 60 days ago? What does that look like? Because if you're going to tell me that it's you getting a new tattoo or you getting a new piercing, or you dyeing your hair, or you shaving your head, but you've done that before, like you've done that within the past 5 months, or you've done that within the last year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, if you've ever done any of those things, let me tell you something. That's nothing new. Newsflash, that's nothing. That's not shock and awe. That's not, oh wow, golly gee, this is a completely new Eric, or this is a completely new Amelia. Sorry if I'm calling out those two people. Those names just came flashing into my brain. So if Eric, or Erica, or Amelia are listening to this, listen. Really, really hear what I'm saying. If you think doing something that you've done in the past, which helped you transform your life back then, and it worked back then, you cannot repeat the same thing in hopes of jumping timelines in the near future now. Because it's just not going to work. You got to do something completely different, completely out of character. And do it in the midst of feeling uncomfortable with everything that's going on in your life. Whether it's the job that's demanding, or the family members are, taking a lot of energy out of you, whatever the case may be, because that's also the test. So I encourage you, do something that's kind of out of the norm, kind of weird, and like a little shocking, a little daring, something you've never done before. I don't want to hear anybody saying, oh, well, I cut my bangs. I like that. Who cares about that? That's nothing shocking. That's nothing really new. I mean, maybe to you it is, but you get the gist. So that's where I've been. That's what I've been up to. I was in my little Princess Aurora Sleeping Beauty moment. I kind of had to just, shut down my supercomputer brain of mine. But now I'm slowly rebooting. I'm coming back to civilization. I'm coming back to society. And I'm coming back to you guys. I don't even want to say that I ever left. I just kind of took a step back so I could see the big picture a lot better. So here I am. I'm always here to stay. I'm always here to help elevate us, because not only am I here to kind of get the word out, get the message out with these channeled messages, but also to fill you all in on what's been going on my side of the court. Like what's been happening with Sarita B. So, yeah, I want to know what is one thing that you can change about yourself from now until the end of 2025. What is one thing that you can change about yourself that will help kickstart this new timeline for you? Can it be learning a new language? Can it be joining a new club? Learning a new instrument? Getting into a new hobby? Socializing more, going out more and talking to different people, talking to strangers, joining a Toastmasters, getting into a completely new field, changing careers. What can it be? Learning about day trading, the stock market, learning about the government, whatever you think of. Drop it in the comments, share your thoughts. And hopefully we can, just kind of go through it in the comments and see what we all come up with. Because I really want us to lock in from now until the end of the year. And so we can be healthier versions of ourselves for the new year. Because if there's anything you need to know about numerology, is that we're in year 9 now, and it's 1 through 9. Those are the numbers, 1 through 9 in numerology, and they all signify something important. Now, if you want, I can always get into numerology. I love that stuff. I love that top to bottom, left to right. I'm all up in it. I love numerology. I love astrology, tarot, playing cards, all that. Things like messages, hidden messages, occult, spirituality. I'm all up in that. That's my bread and butter. But 2026 is year 1. Okay, so everything starts over. 1 means this is a fresh new start. Not only like January, oh, fresh new start, or springtime, like, oh, fresh new start, like spring cleaning, yada, yada. I'm talking year 1. We are all starting over. Year of independence, year of new beginnings. It's a clean slate. For real. Clean slate. So anyway, I'm going to end it there because I'm probably going to go off on a tangent, talk some more crap about a lot of other things but it's okay. This video is kind of all over the place. This message is all over the place. Hopefully you've resonated with some things. And like I always say, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. Let it blow in the wind. Love you all. Love and light to you all. And tune in for the next video.